what I've got here are Spear & Jackson hand saws. Now, up front, I purchased these with my own money because I know the quality is there. Plenty of reviews online telling you how good the quality of these saws are. They're still made in Sheffield in England. They might have a few issues, but they will last you a lifetime if you look after them and set them up correctly. So what I wanted to do today is just show you an overview of this saw set. I want to go through the costs that I paid for them, which ones I chose. I'll give you model numbers, they'll all be down below. I'll leave some links where you can find them. My links are going to be Australian links because it varies as to where you can find these, but a good source is Amazon, so if you're struggling to find them locally, maybe check out Amazon. So without further ado, let's jump down here and I'll talk about what I've got and why. So first of all, you'll see that I've got two back saws here and two panel saws. Now it's vital, I think, to have a couple of back saws and a couple of panel saws in any complete kit to allow you to do any of the operations that you're trying to do. So what we have here is the 5401Y. This is a small tenon saw. Now my idea with this saw is that this saw would perform dovetailing techniques for you. Next I have the 9550B. This is once again a tenon saw, a back saw. This is a larger back saw that we'd be using for tenoning work and any larger sawing operations that you want to do. Then we come into two of these 9500R skew panel saws. As we can see, traditional skew panel saw. Why are they a skew? They have a skew back here. That drop curve in here is what makes them a skew. Before we jump in and go any further, I want to go through the prices with you, just so you can see what they were for me. So I've got the prices written down here. So this small tenon saw here, that I purchased this one for $37.50, but just before filming this, I checked online and I could find it for $48. These prices will vary based on where you buy them and the time of year you buy them. I picked up that dovetail saw around Christmas time, so the prices were a lot cheaper on Amazon at that point. I picked up this tenon saw. I paid $46.60 for this, and at the time of filming, I could still find them for that price. Then we come into our panel saws, and I picked each one of these up for $55. So they're going to be your biggest one. There's the most steel in them, the most work in these panel saws. The one caveat when it comes with these saws is that every single one of these saws is profiled with a crosscut, but that's fine. The easiest thing to do is to convert some of these to the rip cut. That is the easiest thing you can do. All you have to do is file the tooth off straight across and you're going to be set. So that is a very easy thing we'll do. We'll do that in an upcoming video. This video was just to show you what I've purchased, the costs of them, and then what I do and do not like about them. So one thing I don't like about these is their handles. And particularly this one on the small tenon, it really digs into your hand. And so all of these saws are going to need a little bit of work done on their handles to reprofile them to make them comfortable. Don't worry, I'm planning to do a video on that. If not, you can find a few videos online currently where other people have done that, but I'm going to do a few videos reprofiling these handles to make them comfortable to my hand. And really, you need to make them comfortable to your hand. You need to check with your hand how your hand actually fits to the handles, and so that's important. Another place where these saws being cheaper let you down sometimes is that they don't actually have screws on the handles, they're actually rivets. Now that's fine, they're nice and solid, there's actually nothing wrong with them, and I will show you in a video coming up how you can actually tighten these if they do loosen themselves, but it means that you can't just swap the handle out for a fancier handle and use screws without having to drill these out. Now there's no need to do that, but if they do come loose, I will show you how we can tighten them coming up. One of the very good things about these saws is the steel. Now, it's some sort of spring steel. I'm not sure exactly what spring steel they use. I couldn't find what they said it actually was, but it is good quality Sheffield steel. And you can see they're actually quite a stiff plate, particularly on the panel saws, which is actually really, really fantastic. If I look at some of these other ones down here, it's a lot more flexible. This happens to be a old Spear & Jackson right here, and it's still going strong. So that's how I know these Spear & Jacksons, the steel's made in the same factories as it's always been, and they're continuing to be good steel to use. One thing I forgot to mention there is the points per inch. So the tenon saw is a 13 points per inch. The large tenon saw is a 15 points per inch. And both the panel saws are 10 points per inch, which I think is actually a good amount of teeth, or points in this case, for these saws to contain, especially for the majority of your bench work. You don't really need very, very aggressive saws, and these fit the bill perfectly, so you wouldn't really need to reprofile them for more or less teeth unless you really wanted to do that. So just heading back to the cost for a moment, you can have these 4 saws here in Australia. I'm not quite sure on the cost in other countries, so I'm hoping it's going to be fairly similar since they're selling globally. And that is, these 4 saws can be purchased for under $200 Australian, or about $200 Australian, which is cheaper than, for instance, one premium saw from the likes of PAX. And so you can have decent quality steel, which I don't think is any different to the steel that is found in these premium saws. You pay for the premium name in most cases, but the steel in these saws is actually really good. Now, there's only one thing that I might add to this set, and I couldn't find one in Spear & Jackson, and that is the gent saw. Now, I think it's nice to have a nice little lightweight gent saw for doing dovetailing at some point, and in that case, you can look around. This one is a Greaves & Sons one. I've mentioned them before. You can pick these up fairly inexpensive if you wanted to add that to your toolkit as well. But you could get all of your work done, all your joinery, with just these 4 saws. When it comes to reprofiling these saws, which we will do coming up, this steel is perfect for that, and we'll also look at the set and some other things like that coming up. So if you don't want to miss out on any of these videos in this series of me setting these cheap hand saws up for you, please do hit the sub notification bell below, select all so you don't miss any new episodes, and please don't forget to sound off in the comments below. Have you guys used any of the Spear & Jackson saws? Have I made the right choice with this for a budget set for you guys? You tell me down below. Bye for now.